Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you will enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Kreider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Kreider are taking some adult beverages and provide you with a behind-the-scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This story is called Don't Call the Fire Department, I'm Just Barbecuing by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. I love to barbecue. I love it because it encompasses two of my favorite things, meat and fire. One particular evening, after a full day of yard work, I decided to burn some cow meat. I turned on the propane gas on my barbecue and hit the igniter button. The barbecue didn't fire up. I gave the barbecue a good whack or two with the spatula and tried the button a few more times. No fire. So I left the gas on and I went to the house to look for a match. I was in the house for about 5 minutes while the deadly gas continued to fill the inside of my barbecue. I came back outside, stuck my head deep into the barbecue so I could see where to put the match. I lit the match and kaboom! The last thing I saw with my eyes was a red fireball engulfing my head. I heard the loud explosion and I quickly jumped back. I was afraid that I might be on fire, which in this case I actually was, but only for a second. Instead of stop, drop, and roll, like I had learned in school, I ran, jumped, and screamed. Once I realized I wasn't still burning like a Roman candle, I quit running around the backyard like a maniac for some quick damage assessment. First, I smelled the odor of burnt flesh. Not good. Then I ran my fingers through my hair and I could see a small cloud of little burnt hairs forming around my head. I was alive, yet a little on the well done side. My wife came running into the backyard to see what the commotion was all about and found me charred and a bit embarrassed. She asked me, how could something like this happen? This was a valid question. I decided to take this moment to look at the history of barbecuing and its effects on my flesh and hair. One of the things that measures a man's machismo is his ability to burn a dead carcass. Over the years, men have learned this trade for generations from their previous ancestors who used to cook big game over an open fire. Barbecuing for a man is really instinctual. Just like a dog knows how to lift its leg, a man knows how to stoke the fire. This is why they don't have courses at junior colleges called Barbecue 101 or The Art of Queuing. There is absolutely nothing you can teach a man about cooking with fire that he didn't get from instinct or pick up from his ancestors. Myself, being a man of the millennium, I cook with gas. I learned how to cook with gas from my father, who cooked with briquettes. He learned how to barbecue from his dad, who used gasoline and a match, who in turn learned from his dad, who used 2 rocks and a stick. Even though each generation uses a different barbecuing science, we all use what we in the family call the big flame method. The process is not complicated. Basically, it works like this. You make the biggest fire you can without burning down the entire neighborhood. Then you try to get as close to the fire as you can without smelling your own flesh, and you throw in a dead animal. When the fire goes out, you check the grill, cut off all the black stuff, and yell, "Come and get it!" Barbecuing with the big flame method isn't the safest or sanest way to cook. Admittedly, this method of cooking, established by my family, has been linked to some of the largest fire disasters in American history. Boston 1812, Philadelphia 1920, and most notably, my backyard and eyebrows in 2001. Actually, cooking with the big flame method makes barbecuing an extreme sport, but it is the simplicity of the cooking style that is so wonderful. There's no basting, no temperature adjustments, and no options. There's no such thing as medium or well done, only rare or charred. The only way I was ever taught how to slow down a fire was to pour beer on it. Since I like beer, I'd choose to pour it down my throat instead of on the fire. And the end result is just more burnt meat. The only seasoning the meat ever gets is from whatever flies over the grill while I'm cooking. So these days, when I decide to go fire up the grill, I do my best to cook only the food and not cook myself. I always water the lawn before I barbecue, and my wife doesn't allow the kids in the backyard while I'm building the barbecue inferno. We have 911 on the phone speed dial and I keep a first aid kit near my cooking utensils. Even though the big flame method nearly did me in once, I still cook up the best barbecue in the neighborhood. By the way, my eyebrows, they are growing back quite nicely and naturally.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, drunken portion of the show, coming to you live on tape from Austin, Texas, baby.
Yes.
This is one of the greatest cities I've ever drank in, and that's what we did today.
I think that's what you do here, right?
Well, I think it's pretty standard. If you go to 6th Street, there's a bar that has a bar in it, there's a bar behind it, and there's a bar in front of it, there's a bar on the side. You go to the basement, there's a bar,
but you
lots
don't even
of bars.
you don't even have to go to 6th Street. We just pulled into our RV park, and there was a bar, and then a bar, and then a bar. And then, in all fairness, I did ask a local, what should I do here? And then he just started telling me about bars. And I said, what if you don't want to drink? And he just kind of looked at, he's like, I don't understand. I'm like, no, just
It's
kidding.
like, why are you fucking here?
And I'm like, I don't understand either. I just wanted to know, like, does anyone ever come here and ask such a stupid fucking question? Not me.
Exactly.
I didn't ask that.
So as the host of the Stories and Cocktails podcast, there's no way we can do Austin, Texas in one sitting. So this is going to be chapters of Austin. And this is chapter 1, which is we got drunk and went to a comedy show. But before we even got to Austin to see a comedy show, we actually woke up this morning and I was unplugging the 4-inch pipe that hooks up the RV to where you dump your poop. And if you've never had an RV before, what you get to do is spend a lot of time with your poop. And my poop hose is clear, so I can actually see how we are eating and what our diet's like and which one of us might be sick or one of us needs a little more fiber in our diet, right?
You do.
That's me. As I was undoing the shitter and I had my gloves on, a Jeep pulled up and they go, hey. And I was kind of nervous because we were supposed to be checked out at 11. And, you know, in our fashion, we were checking out at about 11:15. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
So anyways, I blame you because, you were taking another shower and you were fiddle fucking around.
You blame me.
Not closing the door that we needed to close.
You blame me because I take a shower every day.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible human being.
You're clean, but we're always late.
I hate myself for being so clean.
I can't unplug the shitter hose until you're done showering and filling up the tanks.
Right. Okay.
So you're holding up the whole show.
Okay.
So I'm out there dealing with your shit, literally. And this Jeep pulls up and I'm like, I know, we're fucking leaving, dude. Like, give me a second here. My hands are full of shit. Instead of that, because I was just like my paranoia, the guy goes, hey, we listened to your podcast last night. I was like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool, because we built a sandwich board and we put it out in front of our RV every night. It says Camp Kreider, mobile rolling studio of the Stories and Cocktails podcast, and it worked. We have listeners in Texas now.
2. But I don't know that they even count us 2 because they're 2 people. They're listening once at the same time together.
So the metric on the analytics is that's a 1 listen.
Yeah. You are working really, really hard to get listeners. You created this sandwich board and you put it out at every RV stop. You put the sandwich board out. And I'm sure I haven't watched you do it because I just can't, because I know what will be cringy. Like, I know your body language as you get the sandwich board out and you place it and it's like, oh, is it here? Is it there? You take a picture of it every single time when we arrive in a new RV park. I'm like, oh, there's the same picture of a fucking RV.
This is for tax purposes. This whole fucking RV trip from LA to Miami is a write-off,
if
baby.
anyone asks you anything, they go, hey, do you know where I get on I-10? Is it just up here on the left? And you say, what was that you asked? Why, yes, I am a podcaster. Here's my sticker. Everywhere we go, you're throwing out a sticker with a QR code. You're forcing it down people's throats.
And you don't like it.
No, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's just,
you hate it.
well, just flagrant self-promotion, unsolicited. It's just so cringy. Hey, what are you guys drinking tonight? Funny you should ask. We do host a podcast about drinking. And she's just like, no, I'm just the waitress. I just want to know if you would like me to put some drink orders in for you. So it's just always.
And then she's like, can I get your credit card? I'm like, here's a sticker. Here's
Yes.
a QR code. You can follow us on our podcast.
So you have been doing this shamelessly everywhere we go. And
You just hide in the bathroom and poop in it more and shower for a long time.
yeah, I mean, maybe not all those things, but yes, I just sort of shy away from
But
it.
usually in that order, like, you do shit before you shower. That's why you're super clean.
Yeah, who doesn't do that?
Well, I don't. I definitely don't do
Well, you don't even shower as much as I would like.
I just shit when I got to shit. I can't plan it around my showers.
You're shamelessly plugging the podcast everywhere we go. And I'm super embarrassed by it. And it's everywhere. And you're just sticking stickers all over the place. Oh, here's Austin PD. Slap a sticker right on the fucking wall. Okay. I hope you don't get arrested.
My brother's in blue.
Then tonight, we go to a comedy show and there's about 35 to 40 people. I actually counted. I counted how many people were in this comedy show because I needed to know exactly how many people you did this in front of. It was a free comedy show.
We support comedy. Marcus Olin was the comedian on the mic.
So we'd seen a handful of comedians, and they were, some of them were good, some of them were not. It's just, that's local comedy.
Some
whatever.
of them were great, though.
Some of them were great.
Marcus was good.
So this guy gets on, and he's actually great. I'm finally like really laughing my ass off. I'm like, okay, this is great. And he's comfortable enough and confident enough. He starts working the crowd. He starts asking where everyone is from, and we say we're from California, and then that gets like a lot of boos because it's Texas and they hate Californians. And then, I don't know, he came back to us. He decided to circle back. And he, are you moving here and raising our property taxes and trying to save our, endangered animals? Or are you just here visiting? And so we said, okay, we're here visiting. All of this is going great. So he says, what do you guys do for a living? Why are you out here? What work brings you out here to Texas? And we say, we're podcasters. Now, this time it wasn't unsolicited, right? He wasn't a waitress trying to get our order and you're shoving a sticker in her face. He wasn't like a fellow camper trying to hook up his own shitter. And you're like, have you seen my sandwich board? This guy specifically asked us, what do you do? And 35 to 40 people are in that room and they're listening. They have showed up for comedy. These are people who like comedy. So we say podcasters. And I'm like, oh, this is actually a really natural way for us to get our podcast name out there.
Marcus was kind enough to ask, what's the name of your podcast? Which
Yes.
I thought was like really nice for a comic to actually ask us that question.
Yes, and I was. This is when I was counting. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get 35 to 40 new listeners right now. Like, this is a room of people who like comedy. The comic is calling us out. They're like shining the spotlight on us. And they're like, hey, you two random people in the audience, we're asking you in a really natural setting, not in a cringy way. What's the name of your podcast? And I am about to say Stories and Cocktails. And then you say, my wife's pussy.
And just so you know, I made Marcus laugh. He laughed his ass off.
And
When you
this-
make the comedian laugh, that's funny.
But that doesn't get listeners. Those
Well-
35 to 40 people right now could be searching on Spotify, My Wife's Pussy. And I hope there's a podcast out there called that. And I hope they get new listeners. You know who's not getting new listeners? Stories and fucking Cocktails.
That's not true. There's 35 people in the audience. Only 34 will look for My Wife's Pussy because the woman next to me got super upset and angry. And she just goes, no, how dare you, sir? Like, she was upset for you as my wife. She's upset for women as a gender. She was just upset for like the whole half of this country.
Guess
that
what?
I was so fucking crude to say that.
Guess what?
What?
We actually, the women of this country, we didn't need her to be upset on our behalf because we were plenty upset. I didn't need her to be extra upset on behalf of me because I was pretty fucking upset. And here's the thing about this comedy show, too. It was comedy. And you think, okay, late night comedy started at 9 o'clock. It's on 6th Street. You had to show your ID to get in, to be 21, drinking. So comedy, it pushes the envelope. It pushes the limits. They use vulgarity. No one had said anything that was even remotely as offensive as my wife's pussy. The jokes were fairly clean. I'm not saying I'm booking these guys for my 6th period math class, middle school math class, but they were fairly clean. And then you just come out with my wife's pussy. And now, the spotlight has retreated because, they're like, oh, shit, it's not that kind of show. Like, who let these fuckers in? And maybe the comic laughs, but it was sort of like, oh, shit, I didn't mean to get myself into this conversation. He's like, I've been working on my crowd work. This isn't what I was expecting. I just lost control of my own crowd work. I got to get back to my comedy. And I'm just looking at you like, nice going, dumb fuck. We just had an opportunity to get our name out there as podcasters. And you didn't do it.
No, but it worked out because he laughed and then he goes, holy shit. He's like, that's a great name for a podcast. But obviously that's not it because your wife looks super pissed at you. So he goes, no, what is it really? And I go, Stories and Cocktails.
Okay, so then you mumbled because you were still laughing at your own fucking joke. You said Stories and Cocktails. And then everyone was still uncomfortable. Their effective filters were still up. They're like, I don't even want to listen to what this guy says because he's so foul. And then the comic
Mark Solin
is like, oh, okay. But My Wife's Pussy would be a way funnier name. And I want to be on My Wife's Pussy, that podcast. And so he says My Wife's Pussy about 8 more times. And the only time Stories and Cocktails was mentioned was one time with you going no, just I'm so funny. It's called Sturgeon Carriages. But my wife's pussy was fucking funny, right? Marcus, right?
No,
You
but
get
Marcus
me.
did finally repeat. He goes, okay, it's stories and cocktails. He repeated what I said. Well, when you went to the bathroom, I handed out 35 stickers. You just
No, you didn't. I know you didn't. I know you fucking didn't.
I was out of stickers.
I know, because you fucking shoved them in at 20 other random people's faces all day long, awkwardly and super cringy like, before we even got there. So you didn't even have any stickers.
Well, I think we should talk about something because you're kind of coming at me a little bit right now, and I think it has something to do with a little bit of your day. You've had an interesting day. Today we went through the Green Historic District, which was super cool. Then we cruised over a few more miles to New Braunfels. And then I found, which was probably like the greatest thing you could ever find. It was literally a beer garden. And then inside the beer garden, outdoors, they were having a dash hound drag race. Like little dogs, 4 at a time, drag racing across some grass. And we were going to be able to get some beers and some snacks and watch dog racing.
We weren't, because it was sold out. We were standing outside of the fence where they didn't serve the beers or the snacks, because we were outside of the whole beer garden because they were sold out. They wouldn't let us in. And so we were going to just sort of hope to get a glimpse of some dog racing from the opposite side of the fence, but we were going to be thirsty and hungry while we were trying to watch it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I think it comes down to the hungry. And so it transitioned to you into hangry. And so you sort of had a little fit in the parking lot of said beer garden dash hound drag racing. And you were a little low on calories. You probably need a little bit of some carbs and shit. So I realized, like, because I was sort of in the handling you phase, because like I knew that we had a pre-made salad that you had like slaved over this morning and made this great salad for us to keep us on our diet and super cheap eating in the RV. So I was like, let's just go back to the RV and have that great salad that you made. And then you said some things, words. I don't eat that fucking salad. I'm like, okay. So then I realized, like, okay, I'm just going to roll the punches here, right? Like, I'm not going to have a scene in the parking lot of this beer garden, and we'll just go and find some food.
Okay, you weren't rolling with the punches, though, and you weren't finding food, because we went to a place. You said, I'm going to go use the restroom. I said, okay. So then I texted you, and I said, hey, what'd you think about this place? You want me to grab a couple menus and a table? And you were like, no. So then I said, okay, I'm going to go check out another place. So then you texted me, and you said, oh, I'm at, Red Sky or something. And I thought like, oh, okay. So you found another place that seems suitable to eat, because I told you I'm starving, and get a drink. Red Sky sounds pretty cool. And then I see you, and it's a fucking clothing store. And I'm just like, hey, did I tell you I was naked? No, I told you I was fucking hungry. We need to find food.
It was a geographical landmark where I knew you could find me. It was a big sign. So I was like, I'm standing here.
So then we went to, I don't know, like 3 other places. Every single place we walked into, I was like, are you feeling this? And you're just like, no, not this one. Are you feeling this? No, not this one. And then I'm like, okay.
I wanted a salad.
Do you want to just go back and get the salad? And you're just like,
yeah.
No, I know that's not what you want. Let's keep looking. And I just kept telling you, I'm getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. And you were just walking us further and further, even from the salad that you claimed that you wanted. And just, I don't know what you were doing. So then we finally get to the beer garden.
I wanted to watch dogs run.
So I see the beer garden menu and I'm like, yes.
This is it.
This is what I want. They have Reuben fries. That sounds fucking amazing. I want that, and I want that now. I am hangry. And then you were like, okay, there's dog racing. I want to watch the dog racing. Then you just went and planted yourself outside of the fence and just started watching the dog racing that wasn't even happening. So there's a guy on the announcements, and he's just like, hey, we're going to get some dogs going, and here's the list of rules. And the list of rules, there was like 100 rules that he went through, and I was getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. And he's like, but we're going to get started probably in the next 20 minutes or so. And it just went on, and you're just standing there, no plan. And I am melting the fuck down.
That's the point I want to get to. You were melting the fuck down. So I realized then, like, oh, okay, you're hangry.
No.
I need to basically carry in my pocket just a little bag of goldfish crackers. So when you kind of lose your mind like a 4-year-old, I'm just like, here. Shove these in your fucking mouth.
You kept standing there. And I said, okay, I'm going to go just find out what the situation is. Like, can we actually get inside the beer garden and watch the dog racing from a seat? Can we order the Reuben fries? So then I went, and they said, oh, we sold out months ago. These things sell out so quickly, you can't come in. You can't come in. You can't get the fries. You can't get a beer. If you want to,
You can stay in the parking lot for free.
yeah, you can stand in the parking lot for free. Like, hey, you see that simple guy out there who's just sort of pacing
I love
around?
it.
Go
Simple guy.
Go stand by him.
He's got some goldfish in his jeans.
I was like, he has a good view of when the dog racing is going to happen. Win. So that's when I came to you and you were just like, did you get us a table? And that's when I was like, no, they're sold out. I'm fucking starving. We need a plan. You're like, well, I'm really invested in these dogs now, and I guess I'll never get to see it.
Well, I picked one. I'm like, I think this is the one. He had some pretty strong hind legs, very aerodynamic nose, the little Dutch hounds, whatever. I was like, this little motherfucker can run. He's good. Plus, I was watching. There's one dude who's pacing around. He's walking the track with his dog. And I was like, this dude is me when I was a soapbox derby coach for my kids. I'm like, he's getting his dog acclimated to the track. He's probably juicing this dog. Like he's probably hidden food and his favorite dog's toy on the end of the track. Like this guy's a cheater. He's a fucking racer. I'm like, okay, there's got to be some betting here. I'm going to bet on this fucking dog. We're going to make some money on this shit.
Here's the difference between the two of us is that I plan for things and I get to do the shit that I want. You don't plan for things. And so you find yourself outside with no chair, no ticket, and a really hangry fucking wife. And then you're just like, oh man, my life sucks. I didn't get to see the dogs race. Like,
I'll never know.
Like for a fucking hour.
One.
I've been telling you, feed me. And you're looking at me like, geez.
I'm like, dude.
Why didn't you have something to eat?
Get a fucking candy bar, dude. Jesus Christ.
I would have done that. We could have gone and gotten any snack and then walked back to the dogs. We would have made it. But here's the part you won't admit. You wanted to come all the way back to the motorhome, which was about a 2-mile walk away, and you wanted the fucking salad.
Yeah, because your salads are good.
No, because you're doing some weird calorie counting and shit like that. So even though I'm the villain, there was one of us who was just like, no, we're going to not enjoy a beer garden. We're going to not get Reuben fries. We're going to not try new foods. We're going to sit in the hot motorhome like we always do and stare at each other and eat a salad.
Well, here's the solution to this. I step on the stupid fucking scale every morning. I'm like, I'm gaining weight on this fucking trip. And then I see a picture of myself. I'm like, I'm getting fat on this fucking trip. I'm like, what's going on? Because here's what I do every single day. I'm really, really good from the moment I wake up until about 3:30. I just eat fruit and salads. I do yoga. I have sugar-free creamer. Like I'm just being so good. So I feel like that effort should be rewarded in weight loss. And then from 3:30 till midnight, I just eat like a fucking asshole and drink all the sugar drinks. In fact, right now I'm drinking a Rob Gina. You're drinking a Bud Light. At least you're drinking lower calorie drinks. But the reality is that I don't understand why I'm gaining weight because you don't think you gain weight after 3:30.
You do.
Well, it turns out I fucking do.
Also, stop taking pictures of yourself like a 14-year-old girl.
So tell you, well, I'm trying to promote the podcast. Like, look, fat guy doing yoga.
You know how you promote the podcast is when you're in a room full of people who like comedy and someone says, that's really interesting that you're a couple of podcasters. What's your podcast's name? You say Stories and Cocktails.
Nah, I just wanted to go for the punchline.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because my wife's pussy is a great name for a podcast. I might even change the name of this podcast.
No.
Because that's what I'm dealing with right now. My angry wife's pussy.
No salad for you tomorrow.
No salad for me. All right, stay tuned, folks. Chapter 2, Texas Barbecue.
Texas Barbecue.
So we're still here in Austin, Texas. We are at a beautiful, beautiful RV park right downtown. Super cool stuff. Beautiful river. We didn't get to see any bats.
No, thank
God. But we walked across the Congress Bridge hoping to see some bats. I mean,
No.
I was hoping to.
I was hoping not to see any bats.
Well, all your wishes came true because we saw 0 bats.
Well, we also didn't go during the bat time. We didn't go during the bat hour. I've made sure of that. We have avoided that bridge during the bat hour.
So I got to go back to same bat time, same bat channel?
Bat channel.
Okay,
same
I
bat
get
bridge.
it. Nice.
No, this RV park has been phenomenal as far as location. The location is awesome. We have walked to everything. We're walking to more shit tonight. I'm surprised you're letting us podcast, though, because this RV park has been under construction since the day we moved in. Like, they're cutting trees. They're drilling up cement. There's jackhammers going on. So I'm proud of you. You're growing as a podcaster. Or, I don't know, maybe we're just devolving into the worst podcasters ever. But in the past...
Well, it could be the alcohol.
In the past, you would be like, we can't podcast because... you know, a butterfly might move its wings and we'll hear the whisper in the background. And
well, here's the thing about...
fucking cement truck out there and you're just like, you ready to go? Austin chapter 2.
Pour me another fucking drink. Here's the thing. I think people in Austin have forgotten what an RV park is. Yes, it's in the name. You want to park your RV. Part 1. Part 2, you want to sleep.
Yeah.
And so when they're building the road right next to my RV, when I say right next to it, like the machine's racing across the front of my bumper, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's just like they're scraping up the street. I'm
No,
like,
this morning
6:30 in the fucking morning, we're building the road in front of my RV.
This morning they were like knocking on the door and they were like, "Hey, you guys, just to let you know, we're cutting down trees. One might hit the top of your roof." You know, and I'm like, "That's cool." Or you could wait and maybe not rent this RV spot out and then cut the trees. This place has been insane.
It has been insane.
Loud.
But it's been good. And the barbecue has been good.
Yeah, well, that's what's so great about this location is that other than us trying to podcast right now
Or sleep.
we're not spending too much time in the RV because there's so much fucking fantastic stuff to do right around here. Like, cannot speak highly enough of this location. We were, I don't know what, like 2 blocks away from the best barbecue we've ever had in our lives.
In our lives. So the Texas Crider's here. My family is here in Texas. So I was like, hey, we're in town. Like, let's meet up. And then being a selfish asshole, I just kept shipping shit to their house during our trip. I was like, hey, Uncle Chris, by the way, I do want to see you, but don't forget to bring a bunch of Amazon packages that landed at your house. We have the same last name. Don't make it a thing. Just pick up the shit and bring it to me.
You know what's so funny about that is that leading up to this trip, I was doing a lot of planning and just like constantly thinking about this trip. And one of the things that I considered was I was like, shit, how on earth am I going to go 3 months without Amazon? I literally don't think that I could do it. And as we're grocery shopping, you keep pointing out grocery stores and I'm like, I'm good with a Walmart. Let's just find a Walmart because that's like my Amazon fix. I'm like, I couldn't get it from Amazon, but I could get it from Walmart. So I was really trying to break myself of the Amazon habit. And you found a fucking loophole.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, hey, 3 weeks, we're going to see Uncle Chris. Let's just have all of our Amazon shit shipped to his house.
Well, I've already done this to poor Uncle Chris because we race at the Circuit of Americas here, and I shipped wheels and tires and fucking tools to his house. And then when I got to the Circuit of the Americas, I'm like, Uncle Chris, bring my packages. And he did. He's the fucking man.
You didn't hook a sister up. You didn't even give me Uncle Chris's address. You didn't even tell me this was an option.
Did you need wheels?
No, but I made
Tires?
some Amazon shit. Uncle Chris just pulled up in the RV park yesterday and just starts unloading his car like the Amazon Santa Claus. And which, funny because if you could see him, he's grown his beard out.
He actually has a beard right now. He does look like the Amazon Santa Claus.
He looks really, really, really good, but also kind of like Santa Claus in March, especially when he just has all of these Amazon packages. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? I didn't know we could get Amazon delivered to Uncle Chris's house. And you were like, well, we can't now because we're leaving.
Yeah. But the good news is you didn't know this. We're also going to see Uncle Mark in Florida. So
oh, shit.
That's our next packages are going to Uncle Mark. So Uncle Mark, pay attention, brother, because there's going to be some shit. It's going to have your last name on it. Crider's shit is coming to your house, and we will be coming to your house in Florida to pick up more Amazon shit.
Dude, how many uncles do you got?
I got all the uncles across the country because they got tracks in Florida. They got tracks in Texas. I put my uncles wherever I need, race parts sent to.
But this time you weren't getting race parts. You were getting shit for the RV.
Well, that's not true because I bought a really cool flashlight for barbecuing. It's really just for like racing stuff. Like, if I need to like work on a car underneath, hopefully know how to work on this motorhome. Everything, I'm always building the infrastructure for the racing team. Even though I tell you, I kind of bullshit you. I'm like, oh, honey, you know what the motorhome really needs? A nitrogen tank with a new gauge on it to fill the tires on the race car.
You know what your barbecue kit really needs? Not a flashlight. Fire extinguisher.
No, it needs a new man.
Well, that's true.
So we'll segue to that. We are talking about a story today called Don't Call the Fire Department, I'm Just Barbecuing, published in the Santa Maria Sun, July 6, 2001, where I misunderstood how long you can let propane gas fill a small area before you put a match in there and blow your face off. So I did do that. I did light myself on fire, and I did burn off my eyebrows, eyelashes, some of the front hairs, and it hurt, and it was scary.
That's some OG manscaping right there.
It was way before anybody had razors and shit or plucking.
I just burned myself. If you're gonna do that, barbecue with your shirt off. You know what I mean?
Turn my back to the flame and just get a mild, quick burst. So I was like, whoa, singe.
Just
all
burn
the back
all
hairs
the back
gone.
and chest hairs right off.
Nice. I like it. So yeah, I'm not the best barbecuer.
It's called multitasking.
But the good news is that in Texas, they have the best barbecue. You don't even need to barbecue in yourself. They have people here that are doing it.
So yes. Yesterday we met the Texas Criders and we went to Terry Black's barbecue. And
the Terry Black.
Yeah, because I think there's only one. Right? So there's a bunch of Black's barbecues because that was like the whole family barbecuing. But I think there was only one where one of the sons was like, I'm not going to split this profit with you guys. Fuck you guys. I'm going to start my own. And I think, I don't know because this is just like the lore, right? Like I didn't Wikipedia it or anything. There's not a plaque on the door. But this is the story we've been told from many Austin people.
The story, as I have been told, is many, many years ago in a deep part of Texas, there was Black's Barbecue, and it was a true barbecue. And then one of the sons or brothers said, I'm going to go to Austin and make a bunch of money. And the family said, fuck Austin. That's where all the blueberries are. So they said, we're not going to take our barbecue to Austin. And then Terry said, fuck you. I'm going to Austin. So then Terry.
He said, blueberry money is just the same.
Yeah, cash is king. I'll take Democrat money all day long. So he rolled over here to Austin, started making some brisket, and bam, started making a shitload of money as Black's Barbecue. Then the brothers said, hey, you can't fucking take all that blueberry money and fucking use our name, so change the name. He goes, fine. My name is Terry Black, and this is now Terry Black's Barbecue. And now they make a lot of money, and the brothers said, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe we should get involved in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitively the best barbecue I've ever had in my entire life.
Now, just imagine if that rogue brother hadn't decided to bring that barbecue to Austin, we maybe never would have experienced the best brisket of our lives.
But I also wouldn't have been sick last night.
Yeah, you went ham on that shit. Like
I went brisket on that shit.
Yeah, you did. I was also pretty uncomfortable, but not quite like you. Like your whole night was over. You were done.
I gave myself the meat death. It was a crazy like contrast where I was the happiest boy on the planet. I'm like, this is the best barbecue I've ever had. And I love barbecue. I mean, I'm fucking crazy about barbecue. I was like, this is the best. It's not even close. It's not even so good. And then moments later, the most miserable boy in Texas. Because I was like, oh my fucking God, Terry. Terry, why? I gave you my money.
You've got to plan for it. We didn't know this because we're kind of new to Texas barbecue because we don't really live in Texas. But
we don't really live in Texas?
Or at all. We don't live in Texas.
Well, actually, we have a residency here right now.
For right now. Yeah, we do.
I guess we do kind of really sort of live in Texas right now.
Ooh, that sounds bougie. Like we're like Vegas superstars. We got like a residency in Texas right now.
Residency in Austin.
Limited time only.
Exactly.
Residency in Texas. Anyway. We know the things that we indulge in. We kind of handle. Like the other day, I got to see one of my most longtime friends. Been friends for forever, since we were like 6 years old or something. She said to me, how do you handle hangovers at this age? And I said, I plan for them. I don't handle them.
Yeah.
I know. Fucked up on Friday. Hopefully by Monday, I'm functioning again. Like I have nothing to do on Saturday. I have nothing to do on Sunday. I got like a DoorDash order already queued up. So all I have to do is just push submit. I got my Advil. I got my water. I'm good to go. So we plan for our indulgences. Hey, let's order a Chipotle burrito and then watch 4 episodes of something on TV. We just didn't know this about barbecue. But now we know. Next time, we won't make plans afterwards.
When you say you want to watch anything on TV after Chipotle, I think what you're saying is you want to eat the shittiest food and then watch the shittiest TV. You just want to do shitty stuff.
Long story short, now we know when we eat at Terry Black's, we need to fucking plan for that shit. And by plan for it, we need to plan nothing else afterward. The fact that we had to keep being out, like we were still walking, we were still socializing. Like I had a couple speakeasies lined up, which we dipped out of. But really, we should have said, Terry Black's, back to the motorhome, lay down, eat some Tums, be miserable, but also happy because it was great barbecue.
Terry Black's, back to the RV, lay a turd, eat some Tums, lay down and watch SVU.
But instead of coming home with that tried and true, probably perfect recipe, we went out and we met other friends. We kept drinking. We went to Gordo's.
Yeah, so Gordo's is a donut food truck in Austin. Gordo is fat in Spanish.
Yeah, no, the name says it all.
But it's spelled...
The name is like, hey, you fat fuckers, come on over here and eat some donuts.
Exactly. But they spell it Gordo, like Dough.
It's quite cute.
And the food was on brand for exactly what it was. You're going to get fucking fat. It was a 12-inch donut.
So you loaded up on barbecue, and then you went and you loaded up on Gordo's.
I did Gordo's too, and I didn't want to. My family drugged me there. They're like, hey, Gordo's only 4 minutes away. I was like, so what? I ate my weight in Terry Black barbecue. Like, I'm fucking dying here, man. I need probably an insulin shot or something. Like, fucking, my stomach pumped. I just need something. And they're like, no, you're going to love it. I'm sure I will 3 days from now when I pass Terry Black out of my ass. Because right now I can put nothing else into me. But here's the problem. No matter how sick and full I was, when they ordered 3 12-inch donuts from Gordo's, and they were just fucking sugary and donutty, and I'm a fucking cop. Like, I felt like it was my job as a police officer in America to eat this donut.
Yeah.
And so I ate 3 of them.
You feel like you would be dissing every officer in blue in the entire country.
Right. I mean, people laid down their fucking lives for this work, and at least I could do is eat the donut.
Is have a bite of the donut.
Yeah, I mean, fucking for God's sake.
Eat the fucking donut.
Eat the
I don't
fucking
care
donut.
how full you are, sir.
Yeah, so I fucking ate those donuts, and then you're like, hey, you want to go to these other speakeasies? We only got to walk a brisk 3 miles to get there. I was like,
You were in bad fucking shape.
I know it's a terrible sound to make, but that is literally all I could do. I couldn't form a fucking sentence. I was so
There's
full.
a speakeasy in Austin called Garage, and the write-up on it, and I love, it's like a speakeasy that's supposed to be super secret, but I'm like reading the write-up on it on like TripAdvisor, so how secret is it?
Right.
But anyways, the description is like, you can just picture Dom Toretto and his friends hanging out, having a Corona at this particular
And talking about
speakeasy.
family.
And talking about family. That's literally what the write-up in TripAdvisor says about Garage, the speakeasy. So last night I was like, honey, don't you want to go here? Garage, the speakeasy? And you were like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere but to the bathroom.
Well, if you think
To
I
lay
want
the
to go to a
fuck down.
fucking place that's selling itself as Dom Toretto's
No, okay.
Garage, I mean, come on, man. Do you fucking know me?
It doesn't sell itself like that. TripAdvisor is what other guests say. So this is what the reviews are saying about it. So yes, it would be really douchey if they were selling it themselves that way, right? If they were like, come to our garage with Dom Toretto and his family. But other people went there and they're like, dude, I'm getting, like, I know it's douchey. And it might not be what they're going for, but I'm here and I'm seriously getting like a Fast Five vibe.
Fast Five.
And it's fucking bomb.
There's only one Fast and Furious, and it was the remake of fucking Point Break.
Well, yes.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That was a good film. If you love Point Break and you just blink and you watch Fast and Furious, you're like, oh, they just remade
the
this
same
movie with cars
Yeah.
instead of surfing, street racing. That's a good movie. But if you've seen the last iterations of Fast and Furious, and you haven't, because I just stay up late at night and I watch them while you're asleep, and I'm just like, oh, I like the first one. I better just stick around and fucking
Oh, you're
finish
loyal. Yeah.
Oh, I do. But I mean, I feel dirty when I'm sober. I feel bad about myself. I'm like, I'm actually a real race car driver. Why the fuck am I watching this?
Because you're loyal. You'll read the end of the
God
book
damn,
that sucks. You
Yeah.
will watch the end of the movie that's, oh my God.
Isn't that why I'm still with you?
I was just going to say, in this marriage, like, am I like Fast 19?
Yeah, you're like the wife. This sucks. But
And
I'm going to
you
stick
just
it out with you.
Like, everyone's like, who's even seeing this?
Why
movie?
is he with her?
Who's staying married to this woman? And
Yeah.
you're like, I'm a man of my word.
She's just fucking squawking on that
I
fucking
just
podcast,
keep going.
bitching about him the whole time. I'm a little guy. I think that's my shit. I'm a
That's your
man of my
jam.
word.
I just said that in sort of a ridiculing way. And then you own it, which I love that about you. You are a man of your word.
Yeah, but you think it's problematic.
No, look, what I say about my husband, he's loyal. He's a man of his word. Those are your characteristics that we put in the positive column. What I say in the negative, my criticisms, he can't fucking barbecue.
No, he can't.
He loves barbecue. He will eat himself sick at anyone else's barbecue. Ask him to barbecue something for himself or something for me. Can't do it.
I am actually bad at it. And I think it's one of those things that it measures a man. If you're like, oh, I can fix a car, or I can mow a lawn, or I can barbecue. Those are like the three things you got to do to be a man, right? That's pretty much it. So when I fail miserably at barbecuing, I feel like less than a man. I'm like, fuck, I'm short and I can't barbecue. I'm going to lose my wife.
But you and me, both of us, we are toxically confident. We really are arrogant. So when we first got married, we didn't know fucking jack shit, you know? And we just, hey, I don't fucking know how to do woman shit. You don't know how to do man shit. Let's just go ahead and just break up the chores right now. You go figure out that girl shit. I'll figure out this man
it was
shit.
very, very gender specific.
We'll come together. We'll high five. We'll pat each other on the back. So I'm in the kitchen making God knows what. Who knows? You know what I mean? I had no idea how to fucking cook. I didn't have the internet. I couldn't Google recipes. But somehow we survived. You took meat out into the backyard. You did God knows what with it on the
and
grill.
I almost didn't survive.
And you almost didn't survive. So I think I'm responsible for this because you're coming in and you're eating like my shitty cooking and you're bringing like burnt meat or raw meat or whatever. And you're setting it down on the table and you're just like, I am man. I did shit with meat in the backyard. And I'm like, good job. Because we were really also encouraging each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we were building each other up. So I think
Because you were like, good job. Don't make me a single mom.
Yes. So I think I'm partly to blame because I don't know, somewhere along the line, I do believe my cooking got better just with practice. And I don't know, the internet, like I started to Google how to do things. You're still barbecuing the same way that you did in 1996 when we first got married, and you didn't know how to do it. You haven't gotten any better. Every once in a while, you'll say, I think I need a new grill. I think this grill isn't working.
Well, for the score here, I've had 7 grills,
yeah.
probably minimum. And I haven't really improved my cooking on any of them. So
No.
I can't really blame the grill. Unless I've been really unlucky. Maybe I had 7 bad grills.
No.
This is the story I'm sticking to it.
No, because I don't want to point this part out, but like sometimes like it was Father's Day and you had to work late. So my brother was like, I'll go ahead and get the grill fired up, just so we can do like this barbecue Father's Day cookout and it'll be ready when Rob gets home. And I'm like, hey,
make it look hard.
That's a really shitty grill. Rob's been complaining about that grill.
That grill's got problems.
I was actually thinking for Father's Day, I probably should have bought him a new grill.
Or maybe we'll just bake this in the kitchen.
And then all of a sudden the meat is grilled to perfection. And I'm like, hey, good news, baby. You didn't need a new barbecue for Father's Day.
The crazy part is that Skylar is such a good cook and he barbecues so well. And I actually stand next to him when he does it. So here's the thing about me. I don't buy it in being emasculated. If Skylar comes over, I'm like, hey, buddy, take the tongs, bro. Like, go ahead and cook on my grill. And he cooks his ass off. And I'm like, drinking beer. I'm like, that looks good. Great job. But I learned nothing from it.
Exactly. We lived with him for 2 fucking years. And he grilled like crazy. And I was like, in the kitchen cooking. And I'm like, okay, I am prepping all the side dishes. You go outside and see if Skylar needs help on the grill. And you were like, no, Skylar's a tried and true grill master.
He's got it.
He doesn't need fucking help on the grill.
He's certified.
What do you want me to do out there? Like,
yeah, I'm just going to be in his way.
Yeah, I'm just going to take him a beer and, talk to him and have a beer and see if he's seen the latest, Fast 19. I'm not going to learn anything. Or
I mean, what I learned is I go out there, I'm like, Skylar, dude, like, tell me about Tinder. Like, what's that like? He's like flipping shit. He's like, you want me to show you how to get the temperature on this? I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck about that. How do you meet girls on Tinder? Like, it's so interesting.
I don't even know where to start with this. You need, or maybe I know the answer. Because I'm really like, why do you need to know about Like, you need to know how to barbecue because that feeds us. There is no basis for you to need to know how to be on Tinder. But even as the words are coming out of my mouth, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Sarah, it's all the signs
right in front of you.
There's skills he needs and he's not acquiring because he's busy acquiring other skills that he doesn't need, but apparently he wants. I don't.
No. What it is that I own a barbecue. I don't own a Tinder account, right? So I'm like, I'll figure this out later. I got time. So tell me about Tinder because I don't know. I'll never be on Tinder. Like it seems like a fascinating, crazy place in the digital world where you meet women and you guys maybe have the sex.
I've just started to barbecue for us on behalf of you, or I've just started to like kind of micromanage the barbecuing from the background. And I go, I don't want to emasculate you. So I say things like,
put this on there, honey. Now wash your hands.
Hey, you remember last time when you cooked these? The way you got them really good is you just kind of charred them 7 minutes on each side. And then, we put them in the foil and then you turn the temperature down to medium. And, oh, is that what I did? And in my mind, I'm like, no, I just a simple fucking internet Google search told me this is how it's done. I don't know why you can't do that. But then I just say to you, yes, that's what you did last time. And it was delicious. Do you remember?
Good job, Robbie. This tastes delicious.
Yeah, just cook it exactly like you did last time. And here's exactly how you did it last time.
And the thing is that I can learn stuff. I've learned how to build really fast race cars and I've learned how to do all kinds of shit. But like for whatever reason, my brain just gets turned off. You put me in front of a grill. I start drinking a beer. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. This shit's going to be cooked or it's not going to be cooked. I don't know. Is it time to take it off? Like I just stand around going like, is it time?
It tastes like that.
And you're like, what? Flip it over, turn it over. No, I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's done. I mean, do you want it?
It tastes like
I'll
that.
pull it off if you want to.
Yeah. And then you're just like, hey, do we have a lot of barbecue sauce? This feels like this meat's going to need a shitload of barbecue
My
sauce.
routine is this. I go outside. I'm like, yeah. Put on my JBL speaker. Put on my Bob Marley on Pandora. Crack open a fucking IPA. I'm just like, this is good. Sit down in my chair. I like the smell of barbecue. It's the whole kind of like aesthetics, right? I'm like, yeah, that smells good. I'm just chilling there. And then that's the fun part.
That's the problem is that you view barbecuing like you're creating a vibe and you're not really cooking
I'm getting the
dinner.
barbecue feng shui.
You are. There's meat on the grill and this just smells good and the tunes are going. But at the end of all of that, when we're done vibing, doing the barbecue vibe, we need something to eat. And you're just like, how are those sides coming, honey?
Yeah, I'm like, I hope you've made a lot of salad.
I hope you made a lot of sides. Yeah.
Chances are this fucking meat's probably going to be using chili later.
Because you know what? They say Even restaurants do that. The shitty meat goes into the chili.
Well, I learned that at the CHP Academy because on Mondays we had like some iteration of meat, right? Oh, sweet. And then next day it was chili, and then it was sloppy Joe, and it was like the meat just deteriorated through the week.
Oh yeah,
but it was the same meat that we didn't finish on Monday. So by Friday we were all shitting our pants.
it's like New York steak on Monday, Salisbury steak on Tuesday. Yeah, chili on Wednesday.
Yeah, so I've learned like okay,
And then it's just food poisoning on Friday.
yeah, for sure.
What's for dinner? Food
By
poisoning.
the time I got to sloppy Joe's, you're like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
It's called, I don't know, sloppy ass. I don't know.
No, what's sloppy ass, dude? They didn't give you enough toilet paper that place. So you're like, oh, it's a dangerous move, man. Dangerous move. So listen, I want to apologize publicly to you for being a bad barbecuer. It's the one thing I am as a husband that I'm probably really failing you, as your partner, but I'm not on Tinder. So, I got that going for me.
So you say. But I mean, you've expressed a lot of interest on how Tinder works, though, for someone who's not on Tinder.
It's a fascinating story, this Tinder.
Am I mad at my brother, too? Does he actually tell you how? Like, did he help you set up an account?
No, well, first of all, absolutely not. But
Did
second
he
of all,
give you like a secret email or
no,
something?
your brother's actually just like, he just laughs, goes, it's no good. Yeah, see, most men, your brother's not like most men. Most men are like, oh, bro, dude, I'm just smashing chicks all over the place. They're so fucking hot. Oh, bro, you're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out. I'll set you on a bank account right now. That's what most dudes would do.
Okay.
Your brother goes like, I'm like, dude, so fucking like Tinder, like what's going on over there, man? I saw a girl come over last night. It was fucking crazy. He's like, I'm like, what? So how does it work? He's like, yeah, it's nah. I'm like, there's got to be more to it than that. Do you fuck him? He's like, he won't even answer that question. He will not say yes.
This
dude will not talk. Do you fuck
why
these
I've been
girls?
trying to make my brother your best friend our entire marriage. 'Cause I'm just like, here's a safe space.
Yeah, no. And then I'm like, now I'm more intrigued. I'm like, listen, buddy, we're talking about pussy, man. We're both men here. Like, I'm not saying, I know I'm your sister's husband. I'm not looking for any strange right now, but like, just tell me what's it like? You know what I mean? He's just like, nah. So I'm like, okay. So the reason we're burning the meat is I'm like, just like pulling fucking teeth, like, tell me something. Did you fuck her? He's just like, huh? So for the record, he has not taught me how to barbecue or to get on Tinder. I've learned nothing from the man. But he's a good guy.
I don't know. Now, in my fucked up head, now you have tied knowledge of barbecue with like knowledge of Tinder. So when you actually finally,
Because you want the meat to be tender. It rhymes with Tinder. So I'm out there confused. I'm like, what are we talking about?
I was going to go funnier than that. I was going to say, when you finally actually like nail a piece of meat, like with the barbecue, like you barbecue it well. And I'm like, oh shit. You finally learned how to fucking barbecue. This meat tastes so good.
Tender.
All the lights are going to fire off in my brain. I'm going to be like, oh, and there's no connection whatsoever, but now it's connected in my brain. So the second you barbecue well, I'm going to be like, who are you fucking? You're on Tinder.
Is this bitch a chef?
Does
she work at a smokehouse?
Is she out there right now? Did she fucking barbecue this meat for you?
Did you fuck Terry Black? Were you on Grindr? All right, baby. There's more Austin to see. I say we get out of this fucking RV and go see it.
I don't know about you, but I'm kind of ready to circle back to Terry Black's barbecue.
Oh God, no.
What do you think? Brisket?
Are you trying to cause me to have a goddamn belly attack?
It was so fucking.
Did he have a heart attack? Did he die from a heart attack? No, he died from a belly attack. We've never heard of that. That's not a medical condition. Like, no, he had it. He went to Terry Black's barbecue and he died of a belly attack.
And here we are again, Austin, chapter 3.
Drinking with cousins. We did do Tiki Bar today.
Tiki Tatsuya.
Yeah, and then some shit went down.
When the ship goes down, you better be ready.
You better be ready.
Does that work?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, what they do is they put your drinks on a ship.
They like bring the thunder and the rain. And the fucking lights. You're like, oh, this is so exciting. Bring me this ship of drinks to my table.
Yeah, and you pay like 8 times as much because it comes on a ship of dry ice with thunder.
Which is pretty dope.
They deliver all the ships to your table. They're like, would you like a rum ship? Yes, I would. Would you like a Mai Tai ship? Yes, I would. Would you
want a sake ship?
Would you like a ship in a barrel that's on fire? Yes.
Fire, all the shit.
Would. And then they go like this. Just a reminder, you only have this reservation for 25 more minutes. That's where I went fucking sideways. Here's your ship that's on fire. Your 8 ounces of alcohol that the 6 of you are going to share.
For $99.
Yeah.
Your third ship.
And that's when I said, what?
And then my wife, whom I love, was not having it. And you decided to go full fucking tiki Karen.
I didn't. I went half Karen. And I walked myself back. And then we left. That's the thing. I know that I went half Karen because we left within the half an hour time frame like they asked us to. Because if I had gone full Karen, we'd still be sitting there drinking more tiki drinks.
Call Austin PD. You'll have to extricate me from this fucking stool.
Yeah.
Is Tom Brady outside? Because if he's not outside, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what happened.
So some shit went down at the tiki bar. And here's the thing. We acquiesced. We still tipped well.
So when you say we acquiesced, like as the table of 6, no, we didn't. 5 fuckers rolled the fuck over.
I was part of that 5.
Yeah, 5 of you rolled the fuck over, and you were like, "Oh, okay, we'll leave." And then one of us was like,
"The fuck we will."
Yeah, one of us was like, "Bitch, fucking tell me again. I gotta leave. Bring me another drink." But the problem was that you 5 were like, "We'll see you. Like, we're leaving. We'll see you over there." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to sit here and drink by my fucking self. Like, this is depressing."
They blew it, kid.
They blew it, kid.
They blew it.
And
yeah.
I don't want to be like super negative.
Nah, fuck them. You know what we did? We left. Thank you for coming along on this wacky vacation here in Austin, Texas with us. Many chapters, many adventures, good times. Let's raise a glass. Let's knock it out, baby.
And
cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out, to enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, then buy the host their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only 4 Spanish dollars. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends.
If you enjoy hearing Rob Kreider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.